Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the TreeTopChat. This is episode number 26. And today we're going to speak with a very special person that we had on the board about 6 months ago. So feel free to enter any questions into the chat box. For those who are not watching this, you can check it out later on our IGTV or on our YouTube channel. Peter De Vries from Canada, well-known guy in the industry. So without further ado, let's bring on Peter. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I can see we have the same cap.
Yeah.
I also have a little sticker on my t-shirt today.
Oh, very nice.
Do you see it?
Yes.
It was sent to me all the way from Canada.
Yeah, I wonder who sent that.
So how is everything?
Oh, not too bad. How's things going business-wise with you?
Well, you know, it's pretty good actually, yeah. So something is happening there. Herman.
Yeah, no worries.
No, it's good. It's good. You know, I'm still recovering. I'm walking around with these guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I will be for another couple of weeks, but you know, things are going in the right direction, so that's good.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah. So Peter, I have to start to ask you first. You know, what is the right pronunciation of your last name? Is it De Vries or De Vries?
De Vries.
De Vries.
De Vries.
Yeah, we thought so. You know, we had a big debate here. You know, the cameraman and I about the right pronunciation, but now we know.
Yeah, well, it's a good Dutch name, so.
Yeah, exactly. We thought so.
Yeah, my dad was born in Holland, so, and then he emigrated to Canada.
Okay. Which generation was that?
My father.
Ah, your father.
Yeah.
So how many times you been to Holland?
Actually, I was supposed to go there this past May, but the Corona had something to say about that, and we had to cancel our trip. So I haven't been since I was in grade 1. So many years ago.
So I suppose, you know, since he's your father, I guess you have still some family there, right?
Yeah, I have several aunts and uncles and cousins over there, as well as some of them they live in Germany as well.
Okay. So where about in Holland is this?
They're mostly in like the Amsterdam area, and then there's I got one uncle that lives in Belgium, and a half sister and some nieces and nephews that are out in Germany.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm looking forward to getting back over there to visit, and who knows what happens this coming year, if we're able to do that or not, but I'll get there as soon as I can.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like Holland. I've been there many times.
Yeah, it's a beautiful country.
It is. Very flat though. So, Peter, we spoke about 6 months ago. So give us a brief rundown on what happened since we last had a conversation.
Well, yeah, time has flown by. It seems like we just had that chat just a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, that was back in April, I believe, when you started the Treetop Chats.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of things have happened since then. As you know, I'm an ambassador for Courant as well. They just did a nice little introduction of me last week on their page. They've introduced 4 of us now and plan to do the rest of the team over the coming weeks and months. And so that's been going on. I've been officially ambassador for them since last September when the team was formed. So it's been a lot of fun to help promote their gear, their ropes, harness, and it's just been a fun experience moving forward. And also, since the time we spoke, this happened back in June. I have also joined the Courant team as their tree range promoter for the art market, and that is for all of North America, which is pretty exciting.
Nice, nice.
So
So in in becoming a promoter, in October, how did that happen? And what will it entail in terms of, what will differ from what you've done before?
So with the promoter position, for the North American market, there isn't a lot of Courant gear over here yet. It's been well established in Europe and somewhat overseas, so it's bringing and setting up new dealers here. So in Canada, we set up the first major dealer that carries the whole tree care range. And that's Maple Leaf Ropes in the province that I live in, Ontario. So we have the full range of gear and ropes for sale on in shop and also on their website. And then we just recently started dealing with another company as a new dealer out in Calgary in Alberta. That's in the western provinces of Canada. And the Arbor Supply Company. So we're to add one more piece to the puzzle here in Canada, and then also start working on adding a few key dealers in the USA as well.
So actually, in this promoter role, it sounds like you're almost like working with business development, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of fun to be on this part of the arborist scene. Normally, I'm usually in the trees or in a bucket truck, and then also here in the shop splicing. So I get to see kind of the behind the scenes and be part of that piece of the puzzle that makes up this amazing industry.
Cool. So I suppose you will have a visitor in another Peter in a while, right?
Yeah. Peter Thiel. I speak with him all the time. He's a great guy, and I work very closely with him. He's a one of a kind for sure.
Yeah, he was in Stockholm. I can't remember if it was in might have been in December last year. Actually, he was at my house. We had had to sit down for a couple of hours, and once he gets over, make sure you bring some chocolate.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Peter, we've seen quite a few of your splices on Instagram and heard that you're very good at what you're doing. Tell us a little bit about, because that's a big topic right now. People want to do their own splices and, do splices or slices that go through, all kinds of different equipment like zigzags or other types of, smaller equipment, the centers. So, how did you learn that? And, how would what's your advice to somebody that wants to learn how to splice?
Well, the most important thing is following manufacturer's specifications and also getting your splices tested on a brake test machine. Those would be the two most important things. I started splicing or getting into splicing about 5-6 years ago now. Just like most people do, they Google it or YouTube it and start working away at it. So that's what kind of piqued my interest. I was interested in it. I'm also a gear nut and rope nut, obviously. So that just kind of followed suit and just continued building on that and practicing. I hosted a couple workshops here in my shop, and from there continued growing Designs by De Vries, basically, because there was interest out there. So I was like, all right, well, if people are interested in getting some stuff made, I'm gonna go through the right channels and get my splices tested. I've had them tested not at just one spot. I've used a couple different places that do testing, just so I have a good baseline. So yeah, so from there I just kind of continued to grow, and people message me on Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Can you build this? Can you do that? And so if I don't know how to do it, I'm not going to do it. And also, if it's something that isn't safe, I'm going to tell them that that's not safe. I'm not going to build that, whatever you want, a sling or for them. So it's always looking at doing it the proper way. And with that, also having, like I said earlier, the testing and then the insurance behind that as a business.
So I suppose since are you doing the brake testing yourself in your shop, or?
No, I don't have a brake test machine here. There's actually, for me, for certain splices, like for example, I'm also a qualified splicer now for all of the spliceable ropes from Courant. So those I did and sent them back to the factory in France so they could be inspected and brake test right there. And then they all passed. So technically, to become a qualified Courant splicer, it would be as you're a dealer like yourself, and your in-house splicer is going to do the program and get qualified. I'm a little different. Like, I'm not a dealer, but I sell custom products to our market. So I went through for that, as well as the new role I took on as the promoter. So those shops, when they get onto the Tree Range program and want to sell rope and buy it in bulk so they can do it themselves, I can visit them at their shop and kind of facilitate that to alleviate someone from France coming over to teach them that.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I suppose, you know, we've been through this process with Teufelberger, obviously, since we're accredited and you know, can do splices or splice as they called in Teufelberger world right now. So we hold the certificate for the CE and E and approval. So I suppose you did a couple of samples that you sent in, and that was then sent to Accreditation Institute that, you know, so you do them approved, but you know, you're more like ANSI approved, right?
Yeah. So with the Courant ropes that we're using in North America now, they are both CE and ANSI standard.
Okay.
The ones that we're going to bring to market, there are some ropes that are ANSI, but those aren't ones that we're going to bring to market. So all the ropes that I'm using, same thing, so that I'm covered on both aspects of it. And then my rigging, I send them to, there's a local college here that has a brake test machine. So I work with them and send my samples there, and they record all the findings, and they have a record of it, and then they also pass that record to me. So there's double.
Do you have any plans to build your own rig?
No, I don't have room.
Well, you know, I guess you need like an I-beam of like 4 meters and this little beautiful Rock Exotica device. Have you seen that?
Yes. So if I had room in the shop, definitely. But it's nice that there's someone somewhat local. They're about a 5-hour drive for me. So if I want to go there and see it being done, I can. Otherwise, we've done like what we're doing right now, kind of be live video and watch the machine do its work.
Well, you know, to me, it sounds more like you need to negotiate with your wife and taking, you know, the living room into account and expand your shop.
Well, I already have a decent sized shop, but for the winter time, I need to store stuff in here. So,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was actually the next question we're coming to as we're heading towards winter. It's starting to get really colder and darker outside. In the northern hemisphere at least. What is the kind of the winter working conditions in Canada?
well, kind of like, because Canada's huge, as most people know if you look at the map. And I live in one of the most southern parts of the country. And actually, where I live personally in Western Ontario, our winters aren't usually too bad. We do still get cold, snow, but the last few winters we've had very little snow. Um, just one or two maybe big snowstorms, and then it all melts. And but it does definitely stay cold here through the winter. For winter work, I work for a municipality as my 40-hour day job type idea. So we really don't stop unless the weather is basically forcing us to stop. We'll do still removals, prunes, street raising, that type of deal.
Uh,
Uh, for myself, any tree work I do on my own, if there's snow on the ground, I'm not doing any tree work. I'll still go climbing for fun, wreck climbing, and practice climbing techniques and get ready for competitions again. But
yeah.
I don't do too much tree work myself for my own business through the winter. It's mostly I'll be in here in the shop.
Yeah.
That's where I most of the time splicing, so I can get a lot of work
Okay.
done during those
So,
times.
but you worked in cold weather. What do you think it's in kind of the more of the northern territories, up like in Toronto, for instance, where it's very cold during wintertime. Is there any limitations where people are not allowed to work in cold weather?
No, I wouldn't say you're not allowed to work or it's unsafe. It's more if it's too cold, sometimes your equipment's not going to work right. If it's too cold and you have your PPE on and underneath you're wearing your lawn johns and you're bulking up underneath with underlayers.
Uh,
Um, and it's too cold to work, your hands, it can become unsafe work. But for the most part, most of the people I know, even in Northern Ontario, a lot of them still do some work when they can. But yeah, at a certain point, when you're trudging through 3 feet of snow to get to a backyard, it's not worth doing the work anymore, and you'll have to reschedule for springtime.
exactly. Exactly. So I think we touched on this about last time you told us that you had an intention to start to compete again soon. So what is going on there? Is there any competitions coming up, or what's
Uh,
happening? Is
yeah,
everything completely dead because of the corona, or what's happening?
Yeah, the stupid Corona. I definitely had Ontario. It would have been in September, mid-September scheduled. That's ISA. That's my local chapter. So I would have competed in that. It was only an hour and a half away from where I live. And then the following week was going to be in Michigan, which is the state. If I go out onto my front yard and go on the road, I can see Michigan, United States, right from my front yard. So I was going to head over there for theirs because again, it was very close. But with the coronavirus, we canceled our local one. They still carried on in Michigan, but I can't travel there without coming back and quarantining for 14 days. So there's two competitions in Florida, one next month and then one in January that I would have attended. But again, I can't afford to come back and have to quarantine for 14 days. So
Like that.
all of that's on hold for now.
Yeah, we just had a relative that tested positively for COVID here. Got results today actually. So terrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Peter, you're a firefighter as well. How much of that is taking up your time?
How do I have time for that as well?
Exactly.
Uh, yeah, so the community I live in, it's a small town called Port Lambton, and we have maybe 1,000 people that live in this village. And I've been a volunteer firefighter since I moved here in 2007, so I'm almost going on 14 years.
Wow.
Um, in that stint, I started as a firefighter. I did 5 years as a training officer for our fire hall, and now I'm currently a captain on the hall. And I do it because I love the town I live in. I want to help people, and there's always a need. So I've been able to make great friendships from it. And for me, I was an outsider. I didn't grow up around here. I actually grew up east of Toronto, like 4 or 5 hours away from here. So it was a
Yeah.
way to get into the community and be a part of it. So, but yeah, no, I absolutely love it.
Cool. So, do you have like a background as a firefighter? Did you have that background when you moved there, or has this been something that you kind of caught up while you were living in your
Yeah, so
village?
I didn't have a background in it. I signed up to be a volunteer and fell in love with it. And I went through all the schooling. So I'm a NFPA level 1, 2 firefighter. I have my company officer diploma. I have my officer level 2 from NFPA. And we've also just started a rope rescue team for the township I live in, which I'm also a part of. So it's all
Okay.
things I gained and gone to school while I was being a volunteer. I had the opportunity to actually take courses during that time to become certified.
Okay. So now you're fully qualified and fully trained, huh?
Yes, yeah. So technically, I could, if I wanted to, which I did also try to become a full-time firefighter for a municipality. It just didn't work out in the cards that I was dealt at the time. So, but
Mm.
I look at it, whether I'm a volunteer or full-time, we're all firefighters. We're all doing the same job. I'm just not at the fire hall as much as a full-time person would be. We typically train once a week. We have meetings once a month. And then with the rope rescue, I also train at a minimum once a month for that. And then I'm basically, when I'm home, I'm on call. If there's an emergency, I have an app, my phone will go off, and then I respond to the fire hall and get geared up, jump in a fire truck, and go to the call.
Yeah. It seems to be quite common that people, the people that are arborists also are firefighters because I know quite a few guys who are, working, either part time or full time and do this, do the arborist on their spare time on weekends and so forth, or when they're not on shifts. So actually, I had a guy in the store today who just got a new harness. He's a firefighter, so seems to be quite common.
Yeah, definitely. Like for over here, I'm not sure how it works in Europe, but a lot of the fire departments in Ontario are on a 24-hour shift. So that turns out to, in a month's time, you work around 7 or 8 shifts a month, and then you're off for the rest of the month. So they have a lot of time to pick up side jobs or basically another career. And with fire and arb kind of related through ropes and knots and everything, it's somewhat easy to pick up on.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Here in Stockholm, we have a station kind of south of the city that has most of the rope access people, and they cover all of Stockholm because they have all the gear for rope access and rescue through ropes.
Yeah, no,
So
that's
not all stations are doing it, to be honest. But
yeah, that's same here. Like with our new team, all the gear is located centrally because there's 6 fire halls in the township that I live. Like I live in, it's called St. Clair Township, and there's 6 fire halls. So one fire hall is central to pretty much the population. So that's where that rope access gear is held, and then depending on where the call is, I'll either respond directly to that hall or to the call and meet the rest of the team.
okay. So that means when you're on call, you have to leave your house and go to the fire hall to get into a truck.
Yeah. Yeah. So middle of the night, 2 in the morning, pager goes off, jump out of bed, get changed. The fire hall is literally a minute from my house. So I'm usually one of the ones there. And then, yeah, we'll get geared up, jump in whichever fire apparatus we need for the specific call, and then head to the call.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. So another topic. We're looking at your Instagram. How come you're connected with so many Europeans and Swedish people on Instagram?
I have no idea. They're amazing.
What's your best guess?
Well, I think like social media has been able to or allow a lot of us to connect, just like we are right now, being so far apart. I think that's where it has really come about, is really through social media for myself, and talking with other people throughout the world that are part of this industry. And I think also this industry itself is unique and very close knit, to allow us to really come together as one solid group. So, but yeah, I do have quite a few followers in Europe, and I thank all of them for it. I appreciate people like what I'm putting out. But yeah, like what I'm trying to do with my page is, one, obviously promote the company I love to work with and use their gear, but also bring a positive attitude and positive vibe for the industry moving forward.
That's good. That's very good. So, what's your? I haven't checked in a couple of days. What's your following base right now on Instagram?
11.5.
11.5.
Yeah.
Quite a few people.
Yeah. So I'm shocked as you are. It's pretty amazing, and I appreciate the support and the love that I get from everyone. Everyone's really encouraging, and it makes it easier putting good content out there, having that positive vibe coming back as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's bring out the crystal ball. What do you expect, and what is happening in 2021? What's in the pipeline?
Well, I think growing my business for one, Designs by De Vries. Definitely growing this brand above me and here and on your hat. We want to continue pushing in the North American market. Hopefully the coronavirus subsides a little bit, so we can get to more visiting and trade shows and hanging out with our friends around the world, basically. But yeah, really just promoting this brand in North America will be one of my main focuses for sure, and keeping that positive vibe and attitude throughout 2021.
Sounds very good. Since we last spoke, you tested some new gear as well. Such as the Akimbo, for instance. So again, what is standard question? What is your favorite piece of gear of all times and why?
Them all.
Them all.
Them all. Yeah, so I also I got the CE version of the Akimbo over the summer
Yeah.
because of Square version 2 or 2.0. It became one of the approved ropes.
Yeah.
So I picked up the CE Akimbo. Done a little bit of time on that, still fine tuning it, but it's a lot of fun. But I think probably the newest piece of gear that I got, I have it here on my harness.
Rope Runner Pro.
No, I don't have that. It's called the Hipster.
The Hipster.
Yeah, it's made by Thompson Tree Tools, the guy who came up with the Unisender. So it's
Okay. Yeah.
lanyard adjuster, mechanical lanyard adjuster. I've been running it on the Canopa rope. I think it's a little bit too thick of a diameter for it, so I'm gonna probably run it on the Kimura, and I think it will be perfect for that diameter as it's 11.7. So
Is that the one that grabs two waist?
Yeah, like I'll take it off my belt here.
I think I've seen it somewhere, but you know.
So you'd be, there we go, lanyard in with the rope going obviously the other way. So you're lanyard in, rope going around, and then yeah, it will grab like so. And then you use this to adjust down. So then you put the pressure off that, and then it will release out onto to the tail end, and then it
Okay.
tends very nice. But with any mechanicals, there's a little bit of a learning curve, so it's still getting it dialed in on the right rope.
And I suppose it's not CE approved, huh?
No, that one, it's not. It's still in, I believe, like the prototype phase. So
Okay, the prototype. Yeah, okay.
I think they have 100 units they've built now. So they have I think they have 100 out in the market throughout. I'm not sure how many people overseas have them. I have seen a few people, but I know there's quite a few people here in North America that have purchased them and then are using them.
Okay. Well, that's probably something we need to take a look at going further. See, you know, because the process of getting stuff, CE approved is very time consuming and costly. We're waiting for the Rope Runner Pro to be CE approved.
Yeah, I know,
And
definitely.
takes time. Yeah. So, in terms of, for you personally, what is the best part of your job? Is it the splicing, the climbing, the firefighting, or combination of all? What is it?
I would definitely say a combination of them all. Without one piece of them, I wouldn't have really all of them. So,
Okay.
I love being up in the trees, working as well as playing. I love bringing my kids up into the trees climbing as well. And even my wife, I can usually get up into a tree once a year. But yeah, that's a huge part of it. Also the kind of like the education part of it and meeting people and learning new techniques or teaching other people new techniques. That's also a great part of the industry. And yeah, I love being a firefighter. And also the splicing, obviously, I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it. So it's a lot of fun working with basically the end user, because pretty much I don't have anything made. Everything is custom. So if someone messages me, I'll build it once they decide how they want it to be made or length or pieces of hardware added to it. So that's also really rewarding too.
Nice. Sounds like you have a very good balance there of the things that you are doing that you really enjoy and appreciate. Huh?
Oh, absolutely. I just need more time in a day so I can stay on top of everything.
Well, you have to sleep less.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, do you have any plans to kind of develop your the splicing with workshops and things like that?
Um, at this point, no. I have had a few people reach out to me to do workshops, but right now I'm just too busy to do that. It's not to say I wouldn't, but if I had more time or something changes, it's definitely something I'd be interested in. With the splicing for like Courant, I will go out to the dealers that are going to be splicing. So I kind of I'll be able to work closely with them,
Yeah.
but do a workshop. I'm not there yet, but
Okay.
not out of the
Yeah,
question.
yeah. Well, the reason for asking you because there seems to be very hard to get hold of people that are doing good splices. Mainly predominantly people are splicing sailing ropes, for instance. It's kind of the same technique, but the ropes are a little bit different than sailing ropes and than kind of a climbing rope, double braid rope, for instance.
Definitely. Yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure. And you don't want anyone just splicing or teaching either. You want to have some credible sources behind the person that's doing it. So I
Exactly.
definitely would be keen to do that. But yeah, at this point, I don't have the time in the day to facilitate that.
No, yeah, like you said, it's very time consuming and involves in order to get accreditation takes a lot of time and there's a lot of people involved and you can't control their time, so it's
Yeah,
it's kind of difficult.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, again, like with the whole splice, I've been trying to get through that program as well, and it's just coronavirus has really screwed a lot of things up or slowed things up.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I know.
but we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. We were supposed to get our accreditation in March and it got delayed by about 5 months.
Yeah, I know it's similar. It took a while for it to get over here and start the process as well. So I feel your pain.
Yeah. Okay, Peter, I think we're getting closer to the end here. I'm not sure if you have any questions here. Let's see. What's your favorite Courant rope?
Oh, well, it depends on what style climbing I'm doing. If I'm gonna stay on moving rope, definitely 11.7 Kimura.
Tomorrow?
For single rope SRS, definitely the square.
We're 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sold quite a few of the pink ones here in October.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's. What about the rest of the Courant lineup? How are things? How are people over there liking the gear?
Well, they like the gear. I have most of the ropes in stock, and I try to keep them at stock all times. I have the Kimura, I have the Extreme, I have the Apura. I have the Square in different colors. So I have a lot of the I have the harnesses, the koalas, and I have a lot of the bags, and but like you, I have limitations of space. So I try to keep the stuff that people want the most. Certainly, as we expand and hopefully get into a bigger premise in the not so distant future, we will expand the portfolio of Courant products as well.
Nice, nice.
We have a question from a Peter here. I'm not sure who it is.
No, they're addressing Pete.
Oh, sorry. Okay. It said, Peter, did you call a college 5 hours away local?
Yeah, well, for us, that's still local because it's still in my province. So, yeah, it wouldn't be like there's a local college here in the town that I work for called Lambton College, but they don't have a program. That's the closest program, like an art program, would be 5 hours away. So they are the local college for me. So.
Wow. Yeah, I know. It's a big country.
Yeah, like 5 hours of driving in Europe, you can go through probably 5 countries. And where I live, if I stay in my province, it takes me 24 hours to drive out of my province to get to the next province to the west. So.
Yeah, well, you know, in the northern part, you know, people can go 3 hours in a car to get a burger. So, you know, it's not densely populated up there, to say the least.
No, for sure.
Okay. Well, Peter, it was nice to have a conversation again. Thank you very much for, you know, sharing your insights and what's going to be happening in the next year, what you've done so far. It's always nice to speak to you. Thanks to everybody who is watching this little episode 26. We'll be back next Friday. If you missed this episode, you can check it out on our IGTV or YouTube channel. Or, you know, if you have any suggestions, any comments or whatsoever, feel free to reach out. And I suppose that goes for you as well, Peter, huh?
Yeah, for sure. If anyone ever has a question, or especially if it's about splicing or Courant gear, don't hesitate to send me a direct message, and I'd be happy to answer to the best of my knowledge.
Super.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, people. Sorry?
I said thanks for having me on again, and look forward to another chat in the future, and hopefully it'll be in person the next time.
Yeah, that would be very nice. Looking forward to that. So again, thanks everybody. You know, we're doing night here in Europe, and for everybody else, have a nice day or morning or whatever you're going to do. So take care. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.
See y'all.
See you.